technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice and super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my install. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already dead. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. That presidents drop a gem on there. Me on earth, these the last days. Throw your get money. Quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. To the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still feel me. Kiss to death, forever take your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger, kiss to death, forever take your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger. Money over on my install. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 9 to 6. You a shook one, breathe and know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for money, strictly for money. Survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover earth. Skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork.
Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Watching television, telling me avoid the system, hoping I ain't lose religion, texting prayer hands, hope the message sending.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go. Left 50.
Play action now. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Again, this is Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Black.
2nd down, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get into the end end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson now to throw again. He hits his running back, close ice. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They go play action with Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A carry now for McKissick, and he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On 2nd down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. On 3rd down, Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. His pass caught at the 4. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Janikowski adds the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead. How
about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Cook following the penalty. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Cousins. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Hey, 382, Liz 50. Spurs.
Handoff comes to Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Hey, Steamer.
Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps. They
were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. They pitch it out to Cook. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Barkevious Mingo in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance.
Tyler Lockett, he's at the 40. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Cook. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Yellow. Zebra.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Give him 30 yards there.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Don't take forever, okay? 14.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Stays on his feet. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. On play action, Cousins. Now he'll escape to his right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's got some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Returnable for Lockett. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson rolling to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tempo.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And that is going to be incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. They run it again with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Go ahead.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking 1st down. Now a run with Cook. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play fake, Cousins. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Barkevius Mingo in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Yellow.
Now Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in? I
do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Tempo.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Anderson-Dejo. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing, Cousins. Over the middle here to 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
All right, now here we go.
Now Cook. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run. Cook. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The return of Cook, a big boost to this Viking offense. Here's 1st and 10.
Go ahead.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A toss to Cook, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. but it's not out of reach yet. Okay, being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. Over the middle, Jerron Brown's got it. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw, deep down. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks a 2-point conversion away from tying the game.
But they certainly aren't afraid to dial up the long ball, and fans dig the long ball. And they absolutely needed it, and guess what? They got it. How about that?
And now a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt.
14, run it. 12.
Back to throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out comes Minnesota. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines.
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Here's Cousins. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st down, Murray. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. To the football, it's blocked. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Hey, Clipper! Go ahead. Through.
The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. On the carry, it's Cook. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He'll find Thielen working the middle. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's face it, we've been there before. We've seen guys, maybe they hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really got it done.
And now they're set up in prime position. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To throw, Cousins. Flush to his right. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Vikings, They move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.